at me, Applejack. I didn't mean to hurt any pony.
Oh, no, Sugar Cube, I ain't mad. I never been mad, and I ain't now. I want y'all to know that.
Okay, I'm so glad. Can you tell me about the rabbits again, Applejack? I love the rabbits.
Sure, hun. I'll tell you all about the rabbits. Oh, this would be so much easier if y'all was Rarity.
What?
Applejack! I know we have our differences, and I know we always have, darling. But it's nothing we can't just simply talk things over. Now why don't you just put the gun down, leave Fluttershy alone for just a little while, and then you can do what you were going to do before, and we can just talk about things rather than one of us doing something they would regret. Fluttershy, please cover your ears for about 5 minutes. Maybe 10.
Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to the Brony Show, episode 505. Yeah, we are here on literally the exact day that My Little Pony Generation 4 came out on the hub 12 years ago. That's right, we actually have a show right at the 12-year anniversary of the Generation 4 of My Little Pony that started the entire Brony trend of a ride that will not stop. Much to my immediate surprise. But of course, I am here to bring you the Brony community for this week, and a special surprise at that. I am your host as well, Circuit Main, and we are joined by a wonderful group of panelists here to talk and also comment on the Brony community as such. We do have Deathlight Productions.
Hi.
DM21.
It premiered this day exactly 12 years ago. Where did the time go?
It goes far, far away. Tech
In a
Stallion.
galaxy far, far away?
Once upon a time, 12 years ago.
Zombie Toa.
I'm still looking for the processes. Also, yay, 12 years of the show.
And Z, out of my spot, Toa Suki of the Otaku Ascende. Get out of my spot, Toa.
Why are we still here? Just to, you know what? No, never mind.
You fucked it up.
I'm too tired for this. I'm too tired for this shit.
Up at night.
He tried so hard.
I thought you were going to open it up for a Red versus
again.
Blue reference. Yeah, I thought he was going to open up with that.
No, he's going for the episode 100 gummy rants.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
I knew it sounded familiar.
Totally wasn't Metal Gear or anything.
Nope, not at all.
Metal Pone Gear.
Also, I just want to point out, episode 505, yeah, it looks like we have an SOS in the title. Either save our souls or help.
Well, it could be we could be saving our waifu because we do have the creator of Get Your Tentacles Off My Waifu, Dirk.
Good morning.
Yep. And of course, because we have such a prestigious and auspicious creator of such a fun little game, we're going to jump right into it. Today is actually is a special episode because we're having our first interview in a while, and it is going to be with Dirk. We're going to ask him all about the fun game, Get Your Tentacles Off My Waifu, which we did play a few weeks ago. We thought it was great until our rival immediately shot us down like we were absolutely nothing.
Bang, bang, they shot me down, bang, bang.
Yep. So, hello and welcome, Dirk. Thank you so much for joining us so early. You're on Germany right now, if I'm correct for the fifth time asking.
Yeah, that's right. It's actually 3 a.m. in the morning.
3 a.m. Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I'm all right, all fine.
All right, well, we played Get Your Tentacles Off My Waifu here. It's a fun little game where you basically are a Pegasus with a big old,
Aaron,
I say gun. With a big old gun, trying to take down a bunch of tentacle monsters that are stealing all the waifus. It definitely a very unique game. What brought the idea to? What was the idea that brought this out to being?
Okay, the idea behind the entire game requires some story time. Is it fine?
Yep, go right ahead. Story time away.
Okay, all right. So you surely remember the episode of Power Ponies. Was it in season 2 or 3?
no, I think it was like either season 6.
No. Power Ponies. Power Ponies was
Power
season
Ponies
3.
came out
I
season
bet it was
4.
season 3. I think it was season 3 or 4 that Power
okay.
Ponies came. No, wait, no, it had to be season 4. It had to be season 4.
Yeah, season 4, episode 6.
But yeah, Power Ponies came out some time ago. Yeah.
So yeah, one of my friends, also from the fandom, asked me and a couple others if we want to play Power Ponies as a tabletop RPG. And I decided to just make a nerd pony who can hack reality and stuff. And I thought it would be funny to give this character a girlfriend and male friend. So when the superhero tentacle monster attacks the city, that the monster catches the waifu, and he can fly up to the monster and simply shout the silly phrase, "Get your tentacles off my waifu." So, yeah, that's where it all started. So, but unfortunately, we never had this session. We played it only once and then never again. But I still wanted to shout this phrase. I really wanted to shout at it. And about 4 years later, I decided, okay, let's make a game about it.
It's always funny how many of these stories I hear actually started off as an experience from a tabletop RPG, but that first time I had an actual a war cry ended up becoming a full-fledged game. That is amazing.
It's funny where inspiration takes us.
Well, also it comes along the same lines as Ripley's famous line from Alien, and "Get away from her, you bitch." Along those lines of a war cry.
Fair enough. Okay. So how long this game, when we were playing it, it looked like it was pretty far into development. Just not a whole lot of stages were available yet. How long has this game been in the works?
I started working on this game in 2017.
Ooh,
About
5 years, not bad.
Okay.
Game development is a long process, so I'm not surprised.
So 5 years before he released the alpha demo. How has the reception been on the alpha demo so far?
As far as I can say, the reception was quite good so far. I would say not an insane amount of people played it, but enough that I got some feedback here and there. The most impressive feedback was watching people play the game live and uploading the videos on YouTube. This was basically where I got the most information about the current situation of the game and where I messed up the most and what I actually did right so far.
So definitely had a lot of great feedback for you to figure out where you wanted to proceed with the game.
At first, fixing the big issues I have seen during the release, and one of the biggest issues was the tutorialization and actually making possible that players understand every important aspect of the game. So almost every video I have seen, people were not entirely sure what certain menus were meaning or certain game mechanics weren't clearly enough explained. So I'm currently fixing about this and slowly approaching the next build where everything is then nicely in place so that I can say, okay, play it, it's fine, try it again.
So with all of that feedback that has come in, do we have any idea when we're going to be getting an update of the alpha build?
I actually uploaded an unstable build recently. It's available on the FlyRams Discord. But if you like, I can just ninja a link in. Just tell me where. So
Oh yeah, that'd be yeah. Go if you can go ahead and post a link in our backstage chat, you should be able to see it in our Discord here. You can go ahead and
Ooh, are we
snag
gonna
that.
get Circuit playing tonight or next week?
It if my internet decides to be cooperative, maybe you can quickly pull it up here and get a look at it. It definitely has been an exciting game. Admittedly, though, I did have a problem figuring out what exactly you're supposed to be doing. I think it was maybe the third stage that we figured out you can actually throw the boxes around and open them up and get all the goodies inside.
yeah, exactly. The crate was one of the things basically nobody really was able to do intuitively or whatever.
Ooh, I got a little lucky there then.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's
In
right.
some games, it encourages you to be experimentative. A lot of games just handhold you your hand these days. But there is something to be said about having being able to know which button does what, though.
Yeah, that's right. And then this level screen we just saw here at the end. It was so filled with information, but actually nobody was able to read it. So I put in a bunch of tooltips. Yeah, but this is basically all the really immediate stuff. But if you want to know about a couple long-term things, I can talk about these too.
Oh yeah, that would be great. I would love to know the long-term plans for this game. I'm really excited for the full release, but I know everything's got to be taken at a slow and steady pace.
Yeah, that is right. And since I'm working alone on the game and manage only 2 full days a week, it will definitely drag on for quite a while. So, but long term, I want to overhaul a couple of mechanics which are already implemented. Basically, the crafting system. Yes, it's also possible to get grabbed by the monster, but right now it's only button mashing, and this is quite boring to just button mash out of tentacles. Just refining some of these things. And the biggest part, which is basically very placeholdery currently in the game, is the interactions with the waifus. Because I really want to give the player the opportunity to how to say it best. Um, uh, duh, 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 duh. So
It's all
so
right.
yeah,
Give
sometimes I have
the
to think about without rambling too much. But I think if you read here and there, I somewhere say the game is about the objectification of love. Maybe we can talk about this in this phrase. Would you like this?
so there is a deeper meaning behind the game rather than just being badass ponies blowing go away tentacles to save the waifus.
Exactly, this is right. So
Another instance of never judge a game by its title.
yeah, this is right, but I think the title works quite funny here because the first impression people get is it is a game about saving the damsel in distress. So, but what I'm actually doing is, or what I want to do is to make sure that the damsel is not too much in distress, and that the damsel is not the classical damsel you can just take home and then you have save the princess and she's your reward for whatever quest you just had. So that means the waifus need some character, they need a good personality. And I want to go to the route where the player can basically choose if he wants to take good care about the waifus, or if he just wants to see them as tokens and actually goes more a route where saving each waifu results more in a stat boost. And so the story can go into completely different directions. So, do you remember maybe the antagonist you fought in level 4, this Black Pony?
It's hard not to forget that guy. Wow. Yeah, he was definitely quite the antagonist. So yeah.
Yeah, so what I want is that the player can take the role of the antagonist and just saving the waifus for their power to win the war against the tentacle monsters. Or he says, no, I'm not going to become like this pony, and instead go a completely different path where Pony himself learns a few things how to deal with the entire situation with the tentacle monster, and maybe find a way to even redeem the antagonist.
That is a
Oh.
very healthy idea, and I like it because you now have more gameplay options and replayability.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a little bit more. Yeah, it's basically not just I don't want to say what's the term? Not
It's not
bog
just
stand.
kill the monster, it's just help
Yeah,
him realize what he's doing is
like
wrong.
alternate endings, different paths that you can take.
One ending you're the good guy, one ending you're the bad guy, one ending your waifu ends up saving the day against you or the tentacle monster.
Yeah, exactly like that. But this decision to go for multiple endings and stuff was came actually around, I think, a year ago or so. Because the first time I actually tried to go the very classic route with the game, um, like distracted by the error. Perfect.
Look at
This
it.
is why it's an unstable
Oh.
build. This is exactly that.
And this is why they
So-
don't have me beta test games anymore. I break them too quickly.
yeah. Oh no, so it's completely fine.
All right.
So no, at first I actually wanted to get the publisher and the typical funding and the typical financing. So as you know from basically every independent game or most independent games these days. So and there I planned a linear story because a new multiple story with branching and stuff would crank up the entire development time so much that the game, considering that it's a niche game for, I would say, kind of smallish fandom compared to others at least. Um, every publisher would look at the game and realize, okay, I don't think we can get a lot of money out of that. So I try to keep the production cost down as low as possible. And then I decided, actually, I don't like hunting for publishers. I would prefer to make the game as I wanted. And this was the time when I decided, okay, let's go for multiple story branches. Let's piggybagging the Undertale factor. Let's go all out of the game.
Yeah, I can understand that because going off on another example, Fizzy Pop, who is making Hasbin Hotel, went with A24 Productions because they were more lax on her creative vision, and she liked how they weren't restrictive on it. So I think autonomy over your creation is important because if you let other people decide how it is, then it starts to become something else that you don't recognize anymore.
The only counterpoint to that I would go is to not you can do it all yourself, but have people help you on the outside if you're like, I don't know how.
True, but there's not a lot of published. There are some publishers who would let him be, but there are others out there that wouldn't, and just nudge him in the way of making the game more successful
Uh,
by going against something he wants to put in the game or do,
eh,
which sometimes happens in game development
in any
when
case,
you work with a publisher.
it definitely is a great time for any indie developer out there because of all the different ways of fundraising, just based on for audiences that actually want the game and being able to get the word out on different platforms that are cheap, if not completely free, to get your game noticed. So yeah, it's
Yeah, like
definitely
Indiegogo or Kickstarter.
Indiegogo,
also,
Kickstarter,
you
Itch.io,
can-
where the game is actually.
Well, it's also so easy to make video games nowadays, comparatively, of course. It's not full on easy.
Unfortunately, I
Do
can't
this
get
It's
the
stuff.
easier to
waifu.
get into than more often than not these days.
And speaking of which, there have you had any unforeseen difficulties or complications getting started on a project on this particular project?
Oh, I would say the first unseen difficulty were the tentacles.
I can
Uh,
imagine because you have to almost always go, okay, this is a single entity, that's a single entity, because it takes damage over time, and I'm guessing like a blockchain of if the one behind it dies, they all die.
Oh, this was actually quite simple, but at the very beginning, I was trying to figure out a way so that the tentacles basically try to properly grab an object or pony, most importantly with the tip, or that they actually then snake around if possible and stuff. There is this one video game, I don't know the name, but you build basically an airship, and sometimes you have to fight against a giant air kraken, and they actually had a tiny little blog post about it, how they tried to achieve it, but I was never able to get that code running. So I decided, okay, don't make physical tentacles, don't make this grabby stuff, just fake everything until it looks pretty good. For example, we can see in this level quite well that the tentacles oftentimes just glitch into the terrain, and this was like, it looks a little bit wrong, so let's make it look right, and added a tiny particle effect, and everybody likes it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't want it too overpowered. If it's going clipping through the wall, that's not good because it might be able to flash back to where the player can't dodge or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but honestly, some of the later levels have exactly these scenes that you had just described.
Yeah. Well, I can definitely see on the layering on the 1 second's currently doing that if a tentacle goes off the visual thing, like behind that layer, it's not really a factor unless it's, extremely long, then you got to account for it.
I don't quite understand what you mean with this.
Neither. And
basically, what I'm pointing out is if someone's not paying attention, you could have that tentacle right there he's fighting that's going behind that front layer stuff clip into the wall and glitch out.
well.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
see. Yeah, you're currently showing it.
Yeah.
So
stuff like that, I can imagine collision boxes are a bit of a heck in a handbasket.
Oh, well, I must say I'm working with the Unity engine, and Unity already takes quite good care of most of the issues which you would have the moment you build your own engine.
I hope your project isn't in danger in one day because of Unity's recent actions a few months ago with its CEO. But it shouldn't, though, because you're working on this independently. You're not too reliant on Unity, just using their engine and tools.
Yeah, that is correct. And I know what you mean. They broke this one. What was it? In-game shop guy, mobile ad stuff, something like this, to ingrain it pretty nicely into the engine and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I think we just have to see where it goes with Unity. But from my current developer perspective, it makes great fun to work with Unity. So the moment you dive really deep into the really complicated stuff, then you sometimes have to fight a little bit with the engine. But otherwise, it is, so to speak, a really good girlfriend for any developer.
All right. Well, we talked about the trials and tribulations. Has there been anything with a game development that actually went surprisingly well, or really easy, or maybe completely unexpected in a good way?
Oh, that's a good question. What went good? What was easy with the game? I think what worked quite surprisingly well was just getting the principal game mechanics working, the character, the shooting, the fighting with the tentacle monsters. So after a few months or so, I had something playable, and I showed it to my coworkers, and we already had great fun with it. So that definitely worked quite well.
I better stop touching things in this space. I think everything is out to get me.
I think it's only the question marks, and I have no idea why they are crashing right now.
Yeah, it looks that way. I guess I'll just stick with the main gameplay areas for the moment, since it doesn't look like that's going to be cooperative. So when you get to some when you have the game fully developed, which I'm sure is a long time away, but are you planning on releasing it to other platforms, other digital distributions, maybe even physical copies of some sort?
I think I only thought not further than Steam so far. I just haven't checked out different online shops, different digital distributors, but I probably consider checking out Good Old Games as they are currently selling newer games as well, and maybe Humble Bundle, just to give the people options if you don't like Steam also. I don't know if anything will happen with Epic. I just have to see with this. And a physical version, as long as there are no publisher who thinks, hey, this game is so great, you want to see it in the shelf, I think a physical version is not really happening.
Yeah, probably not, but you never know. It's always nice to have a
It'd be nice to
one of
have a
those.
physical version, but it's not always a possibility given the budget of production and how it's just easier these days for most indie developers to just simply download it than just making physical copies.
Yeah, but
Yeah, definitely.
a crazy Brony can dream.
Oh, crazier things have happened.
So
For example,
yeah.
I say crazier things have happened.
Oh yeah, them's Fine Hurts is getting console release now.
And that was an indie game that got cease and desisted, so I know it's not the exact same game, but you know what I mean, though.
Speaking of which, actually, that does give me a pause for thought here. Were there any other games or properties that really influenced you on how this game was developed or being developed? You know, little inspirations.
Yes, definitely. Namely, the shoot 'em ups from the early 90s to the mid 90s, before everything went the bullet hell route. So
yeah, like Toho before it went to full Toho.
Oh no, even earlier.
I think he's mean like maybe Super Smash TV or
that too.
No, I'm actually talking about a game called Donpachi.
Donpachi?
Apache, yes, I remember that. I remember playing that in my bowling alley's arcade. Fun game.
Yeah, it's kind of like the history of the shoot 'em up, so to speak, a little bit, because in the mid 90s with the Super Nintendo and stuff, there were all these RPG games, and shoot 'em up developers were kind of like then scratching their head and wondering how can we keep people playing our games. And the first idea was to make it more difficult. And this basically over time just pushed the entire genre to a niche genre, which is played by a really small audience these days, with only one extremely successful shoot 'em up maybe every once a year, maybe every second year. The last big shoot 'em up, which everybody is probably still talking about, is Enter the Gungeon. But basically, shoot 'em ups in this business are very dead.
True, it's usually with shoot 'em ups. You only get other than like bullet hells, you could just get the random Toho or compilation release of just a bunch of the old classics.
Yeah, companies are out it to make money these days. They don't very care about niche communities these days.
Well, it's still great that you have something classic and old school.
And I mean the AAA companies, not the indie development.
No, we get that. We get that.
Yeah, but it is nice to have something like this where it's just it's made by somebody with a passion that you still want to pull your hair out because of the frustration difficulty. Help! Everything's shooting at me, except me.
Oh, that's always the fun bit about a twin stick.
Okay. Well, technically, it's more mouse and keyboard for me than twin stick.
Well,
actually,
you know what
does
I mean, though.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So with Waifu, I actually tried to go back to the time before everything became a bullet hell. So I admit the game looks really bullet helly already the first 5 levels, but I tried to create this feeling that it doesn't feel like a bullet hell by basically clustering groups of bullets to basically one giant bullet. And we have seen it here with the 3rd level, where there were mostly these long lines Later levels I already boxed out. They became a little bit too bullet heavy. I have to fix that. And additionally to that, I want to see if you can really have a shoot 'em up which can deliver a story. Because most shoot 'em ups delivering a story, most often they're just tiny cutscenes and pretty forgettable.
True, unless they're in horrible English. But yeah, that don't think we can really get away with that anymore nowadays.
Oh yeah, I remember. All the days belong to us.
Yes, exactly.
And the arcade version of X-Men, Welcome to Die.
Not quite a shoot 'em up, but yeah, you get the idea. Yeah.
The mistranslated one,
Yeah.
I was more going for.
Okay, let's see. Well, I'm kind of blank. I think I kind of covered all the questions. Oh no, wait, there is one. Do you currently have a timetable on when you want the full game to be released, or is it one of those just when it's done situations?
So I can say when I made the time schedules for the publishers, the development time was about 2 years or 1.5 years for a team of 3 people. But I'm working basically alone. And as long as I don't have any funds to get any help on certain things, 2 years would be kind of like a miracle. So let's think it would take 5 years, 6 years, speaking realistically.
Yeah, you have to be realistic when it comes to this sort of things because there could be unexpected delays in life situations happening that might come up unannounced.
Yeah,
Well.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So, are there any plans for a possible fundraiser for the game, or to allow people that really want to, finance something like this, or basically just try to help out how they can? Is there any plans to make that available to people, to the general public?
Currently, I actually use Patreon to fund this game. And I have decided to not go with a crowdfunding or the classic early access on Steam because early access these days has, so to speak, the early access games which get released these days they look visually pretty good, extremely good, and they most often lack the last gameplay stuff, the last game content. And in my case, it is pretty much the other way around. So I have the first 5 levels with some kind vertical slice-ish graphics, but still lacking in many aspects. And everything past that is really just blocked out. So you have the foreground layer with a tiny bit of stuff on it that you can get sludgy and damage and stuff. But basically everything else about graphics is missing. So then we already have seen the issues with the tutorialization and stuff. So if I would go early access with this on Steam, I would basically cut off my own head by doing so. And Kickstarter would, or any crowdfunding would kind of mean like setting everything up, release it, and then do community management and more community management and more community management for the next months until I can press the button and say, now you can pay. But this is actually something I don't want. I prefer to work on the game instead of hyping it up to something which
because if nothing can live up to the hype in a person's mind. Well, sometimes it can, but sometimes people overhype things in their mind, and when they don't get what they're expecting, they just dunk on it or don't even bother to play it.
Well, also, having a Patreon versus like other forms of crowdfunding, you can actually get immediate feedback versus hey, here's a build. Oh, what do you guys think? Pay me money.
Also, speaking of money, you might have to hire someone to manage the community aspect of Kickstarter if you went that route, because I think you would be too busy working on the game to give constant updates on that sort of thing.
Yeah, that also. Plus, there are a few things I simply can't do myself in a good thing, like music. I can write English, but I don't know if it's actually good English. So, and when it's about the localization for different languages, completely out of my league.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's something that a lot of people overlook and like, now I'll just do it in my native language, and then it's like, oh,
That
localization's a thing.
in that case, anybody who is interested in trying to help out this game, we will have a link to the Patreon for it in the show notes, as well as in the description on the YouTube video when it is uploaded. So please be sure to keep an eye out for that. And if you do like what you see here, please join in on the Patreon, because even finances help a small indie developer, even a little bit.
Chaos Sakai has a question in chat.
Yeah, I'd say
Chances
it's
of DLC after the game is complete.
Chances of what?
DLC.
DLC.
Chaos Sakai asked if there's chances of DLC after the game is complete.
I don't think I want to do DLC, but I want to see if I can implement a nice randomizer for all the stuff. Checking what I can do with for the speedrunning community. But when the first game is basically done, then I have to surely do a mental health break and then probably go to the second game. Yes, I already want to make a second game.
Is the second game going to be Get Your Tentacles Off My Husbando? Or is that...
the second game, I would just jump far into the future, which is super uncertain. But the second game is then Get Your Tentacles Off My Waifu the Beach episode.
Oh, I love it!
The beach episode of every anime.
The beach.
that would work. That would work.
That is amazing.
Keep your hands off my beach babe.
No, your beach waifu. Get it right in there. But that is amazing. I absolutely love it. It's too bad we're probably gonna have to wait a few years for that to come out, or at least an alpha build of it.
Well, I try to be as open and clear about the roadmap for waifu as possible.
Right.
So yeah.
And in fairness, you have a good base set of assets to work with. I understand making the levels though is probably a little more time consuming than anything else.
Yeah, this will unfortunately lead to a really boring part for the next months, because I will work on improving the tools I need to build the game a little bit faster. So, but I will always take 1 of the 2 days I have available for tiny improvements here and there, and maybe jumping a bit ahead about features I want to improve, so people don't have to wait months where I'm just building tools, because there are already memes and jokes out there that independent game developer just work 90% of the time on tools, and then they work on more tools but never finish the game.
Yeah, I can imagine that stereotype, because it is difficult, and I am very inexperienced with game design, but I can understand the difficulty as someone who works as a 3D printer, how you are like, that doesn't look right, it needs to support that, it needs to be that, it needs to do that. Creative is a curse, but we love it.
So, since I'm currently fighting the horrible antagonist that drove everybody crazy, when you were testing that, did you just happen to be really, really good at him, or was it one of those weird cases where you just kind of became better at the game than anybody ever expected?
It is probably the second version. But building the antagonist was a super fun thing, because at this time when I was working on the antagonist, I was maybe I have seen a video or was reading up a little bit about artificial intelligence or artificial stupidity. Yeah, artificial stupidity, which is all about making bots in most first-person shooters or so bad enough that they feel human. So I took a bunch of all of the things which they were mentioning and actually put this into the antagonist. So if you look really closely, you may notice at certain situations he has some delay before he is able to dodge. So you can try to cheese that. And the antagonist actually has this exactly same move set as the player character. So you kind of fight a simulated player in these battles.
Crazy thing I would do is, if you're able to record a player's failed run, why not have that be one of the lighting patterns? Or a replacement pattern. But I understand that would probably be a little too complicated, simply because of decoding.
I'm not quite sure if I understood everything correctly.
Basically, since I know that the game can take the input of the player, why not just have it copy a previous code that the player inputted in another level?
I don't
I
think.
know, too complicated.
You
that
mean kind of like TAS, technical assisted speedrun,
Yeah,
but
like
without
that.
speed?
it sounded more like either like racing ghosts or like the problem with older
Or-
fighting games where they were basically reading button inputs and reacting to
Or
that.
facing your other self like Legend of Zelda or Ocarina of Time with Shadow Link.
Yeah, it's something along those lines, but you get my idea. If you're having the narrative be, this is a rival that's nearly as good, if not better than you, it's an idea, but I understand if it's too complicated.
Yeah, that's probably really complicated. And after I implemented this pseudo AI, I already noticed, well, this actually feels quite good so far. Maybe I have to work a little bit on the bullet pattern that he doesn't fire that insanely because this is a mean difficulty spike here. But otherwise, I'm very
Yeah,
happy.
you don't want your mid boss to be too powerful.
Yeah, though, the moment you finally do succeed against him, it's probably an euphoric feeling you never get. You know, it's just like the giant wall, the giant hurdle that you thought was impossible.
Yeah. So, but it is still really, really easy to sheath him, especially with the charge shot if you want to try that one.
Oh?
Oh, you're almost dead anyways, boss.
I'm all ears.
The charge shot is, I think, if you're playing with the keyboard and mouse, then it's probably the right click, and then you can charge up your weapon.
Oh, charge shot. Okay, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, because the charge shot flies faster, and the antagonist has problems dodging that. So if you are really good, you can stun block him for some time, then he gets angry.
First, let's recover our waifu here so we can make sure we got nice power up.
By the way,
Oh! He got me! He got me in the shin! My shin! Okay.
I used to be a shooter like you until someone got me in the elbow.
No.
Until the antagonist got me in the knee.
I got capped in the knee.
The antagonist got me in the knee! Actually, I gotta. That does give me a pause for thought here while I'm trying to.
The arm because your shooting arm is important.
While I'm trying to take out the antagonist here, who is now leaking more meat here than a cooking game. Is there
he missing a leg by any chance?
No.
He is now. Oh!
Oh, the waifu!
He exploded in waifu pillows. Wait, is that legal?
He was carrying them for a friend.
Oh. Alright. Quickly,
You still got a monster to kill.
Yeah, but it
killed the other monster.
just means that I can quickly grab everything else that's around here. I do have to. One thing I do want to ask: are there any if they're not already in there because I might have missed them? Are there any plans for like Easter eggs, inside jokes, things like that?
At the beginning, I still do, was playing heavily with kind of anime tropes and stuff, but this is actually the first I wanted to go with Easter eggs and stuff. Like the Tsundere waifu, you have a little bit more data waifus. I think the most common or the most well-known Easter egg you can find is later on you will find the senpai waifu, and it will be quite difficult to make her notice you.
Sentai waifu? Oh,
senpai waifu.
Senpai! Oh, sorry. Dang it. I still like the idea of a sentai waifu.
I don't even know what that is.
As a tokusatsu fan, a sentai waifu would be awesome.
Sentai is basically things like Power Rangers, Kamen Rider.
It's English for Superhero Squadron.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, this is actually pretty awesome.
Hold on.
You just have a waifu that just has this Power Rangers like helmet on.
Hold on. In the text
want to help me power through this?
We got through the antagonist and index abound outside the array. Oh, don't tell me I killed it. Oh no, the development console won't let me. There it goes. I had to trash it. It didn't like me picking anything up.
Yeah, because your inventory is full.
Oh, what, really?
Ooh.
Go figure.
Yeah, just
You
fly
became
upwards.
overcumbered.
Yeah, if you fly upwards to the middle, to the center room, then you will find out that you have a bunch of items you could equip.
Oh yeah, these things. Yeah. Okay.
Derek, one of the latest Sentai's, at least the females of them are in this voice text insanity. Just to show you how you could work with the idea of a waifu in that case.
They even made a
Uh,
Mighty Morphin Pink Pony Ranger figure.
Well,
It's under
I
the
don't know if
voice
I can put in that waifu in the first game because I
No,
already
well,
defined
you know what I mean.
I was just saying.
Yeah,
there
but
go.
you know what I mean.
Well, there goes the game
was a
again.
trope.
There's
Aw.
that game again.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
but it's something to look into if you want to do that type of trope.
So I think it's a good time to bring it. Let's bring the questions out to our chat room audience here. A lot of you guys have been listening in, and I'm sure you've been enjoying the conversation. But some of you may have questions that we haven't covered. So now's your chance to ask the questions in chat. What are there anything that you want to ask our beloved Tentacle Waifu developer Dirk? While I go
ask ahead, and if you want to know some spoilery stuff, just ask, and I will gladly talk about it.
Ooh, behind the game.
Is the antagonist actually a waifu in disguise?
CMCS, who is the best waifu?
Oh, yeah.
Is the antagonist a waifu in disguise? So, if you get the redemption arc with the antagonist running, right now the blockout for the level goes with the linear story path where the redemption always happens. So in the last 4 levels after you finally defeated the antagonist, you start every level with the antagonist already on your shoulder as if he is the waifu.
Oh, so yeah, yes, but actually no. I love it. That is that's the best response.
Oh.
Okay, Lone Wolf Gamer, will it have a difficulty setting?
Extreme. I have already difficulty stuff in place for the stats of the monsters so that they are doing more damage, have more hit points and stuff. That basically means mostly you have to work more with equipment right now. And another difficulty feature I want to add, but this will take a long time, is that if you play on higher difficulties, the monsters will have a different shape. It will be bigger and stuff.
Vaguely Creepy asks, any hopes for online or player versus player?
I think I can't make online anymore because I already messed up the entire coding game architecture to get online working, but we have local co-op. And it's already working.
Local co-op should be good.
That's a shame. I was going to make a Battle Royale joke.
Mm-hmm.
All right. One question that we did have that we didn't quite get answered yet. Let's see. Crazy My Captain. Which one of the waifus is your favorite of the waifus?
It's the Kudere waifu, the emotionless one. And I can also explain to you her story arc if you like. But it would take maybe a minute or so.
Maybe a little bit of the teaser of the story arc. We don't want to reveal too much and spoiler the fun for the players.
Okay. So the Kudere waifu as a cliche waifu who doesn't like to express her emotions. She will become very important for the redemption arc in several aspects. So, but what the Kudere waifu actually likes to do is to play music. So when I go all out with the story, it is possible to give the Kudere waifu a guitar. And later on, after you helped her learning to play the guitar by getting her a book from the Senpai waifu, for example, then it is possible that then words. Then the Kudere waifu will be asked, how do you feel about the entire situation with the tentacle monsters and the Kudira waifu? The answer, well, I don't really like to talk about it, but I made this nice song. And then she takes the guitar and plays the title theme you can hear in the game. The title theme is made with the intention to display the curiosity and the awe and the wonder that the ponies have for space in general. And I really like this idea that the Kudere waifu, the one who is most withdrawn from the others, still shows this appreciation and love for space, even if it just broke the tentacle monsters.
Yeah, nice. Do like that. All right, and chat room.
Aw.
Do you have any other questions for our developer friend here? Just give him a quick moment because lag is real when it comes to online content.
I got a question. Is there any? Are you thinking of adding different guns into it, like a shotgun, a grenade launcher, than just a standard gun he's holding?
I tried it once, a spread shot, but it wasn't fun at all because with all the tentacles and stuff, especially when you use the shard shot, you really want to be precise in slowly destroying the monster, and everything that goes into different fire modes gets away from this goal of basically precision shooting. So this is why I have only these three shots, the three bullet modes, the shard shot.
Okay,
Uh,
that's understandable. Because some players like having options, and I can see why the rapid fire accurate style of playing is more helpful to disarm the tentacle monsters, and having the charge shot along with that space weapon is a good idea.
Yes, plus I will actually overhaul a couple of the later monsters so that there are monster parts which are highly resistant against the shard shot, but other monster parts are extremely resistant against the rapid fire. So you have to basically switch or you have to use the right strategy for the right monster. And this is also a little bit from the old shoot 'em ups from the 90s, where it's not about learning a bullet pattern, but to find actually the best way and tactic to get through a level.
All right.
Angley says, "Could you do a husbando mode for some kind, gender swap mode, basically?"
This is really nice that this question falls because I was thinking about it. Because it would be quite simple to do on the graphics side, but I'm not entirely sure how much I can go on the writing side because waifus and husbandos will talk differently. They will react to each other differently. And
Yeah, it
I
will
don't know
involve
if I can
extra
get that.
dialogue to be written.
Yes, and if I go the voice acting route, then it will become really intense. But maybe, but it's still, it is possible. It is kind of something. It is. I would like to have it. I just don't know if I can do it
It's just not in
in
the
a
works
feasible way.
because that's expensive.
It's not a
Yes,
it's not a lack of willingness. It's just a lack of time and expense.
yes, that is it. So, but coding wise, I can do everything required to have the husband mode.
Maybe it could be
Not
a
every game
special.
has to have voice acting to be great.
No, you don't have to. There is some voice acting in the game. It's just I don't think it's gonna have. I mean, I think that's a good question. Is the whole game going to be voice lined, or is it just like the random quip here and there, like with the main character?
I don't know if I will be able to voice line the entire game, especially when I go with the various story arcs. I probably have to see if I pick out maybe some very important what is the term? Some very important scenes that they get voice acting, but I don't know how much they diminish than other themes. So maybe it stays with in-game stuff. Um, I can't really say much about it, but if I go but I doubt I can do voice acting by myself alone for the branch story part.
Let me rephrase my earlier statement. Voice acting would be neat, and but the thing is, it also goes goes down to money. So having little sound effects for their voices or little grunts or yells or something like that is pretty good to include, even if you can't get full-fledged voice acting.
Sort of like Banjo Kazooie does.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
read my mind.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I made the voice acting for the main character. A friend helped with it. He also had a really good microphone. So, and he was also able to coach me a little bit to shout into the damn microphone. So I think in-game voice stuff, I will see that I can keep it and also get voice lines for the waifus. But yeah, but everything more than that will be difficult.
Okay, let's see. And I don't see any other questions in the chat room. All right, let's see. Yeah, I think that should just about cover it, unless anybody else has any other questions for our for Dirk here and for the game. Or who wants to see me crash it again? I'm sure I could do it without.
Second, at this point, it's not, hey,
Yeah, crash the game,
it
please.
is when you will crash it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, crash
isn't
the
it?
game. Definitely crash the game, because it's better that everybody out there knows what they are paying for than actually just, oh, please don't let the game crash. Please, please don't show it to the public.
Oh, yeah,
No.
I totally understand.
Welcome to
that.
Crash Questria, where we crash everything.
Oh,
right.
yes, a wonderful name.
You know what? We're gonna go outside and look. Here's an item outside. Oh, we're crashed. In all honesty, though, I think you can pick up those items in the actual demo that's on Itch.io. So if you're watching this and you want to try this game out, the Itch.io the build is more stable at the moment.
I will, yeah, first that, and maybe I can make another unstable build on Friday. Fingers crossed.
Well, you know, you gotta bring it out of the stables every now and again. You know, grazing is an important factor.
Oh, whoa, that's not good. Oh, wow, that's oh boy.
Oh, no. Second, are you breaking your own stuff?
Not exactly. My virus scanner just said that Get Your Tentacles Off My Waifu has a virus on it. Or at least says it does.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is very likely that it comes with all the stuff that I can't. What's the term? You have to talk with a bunch of people to make sure that your software get accepted by virus scanners and stuff. And
Yeah.
I sometimes even get this Microsoft warning thingy. Oh, this is not a Microsoft certified or whatever thingy. You shouldn't use the software. And then
Yeah.
I've heard some sites having problems like that.
Someone in YouTube chat. Oh, I'm sorry, Just My Mage. I did just see the chat. Any plans to add Linux or Mac compatibility to the game?
As long as I don't have machines which can properly run any Linux-based system or Mac, I can't make ports. Well, I could work on any Linux stuff if I just install it, but still have to see and invest the time in it. Yeah, but I would actually like to have multi-platform. I just need the hardware for it.
All right.
That's fair, because if you get a full game and you can just try putting it that way, I think it would be a little bit easier than having to fix different bugs that pop up from a still in development game.
Yeah, the two, but I'm actually most concerned about the graphical stuff because I did some really insane shit just to get the game looking as it is, but that's the nerd territory, the deep nerd territory.
Yeah, it definitely looks great though, and it does play really, really well. Even though I'm using keyboard and mouse, I felt like I was really in control of everything. Everything was responsive. I really enjoyed it. So I have no complaints about that. And I've played plenty of really weird controlled games. Plenty.
Do I have to bring up the?
No. Anyway, I'd say it's probably a good time to wrap up this interview here. We've been going for almost an hour, but it's been a great hour and really a lot of fun to play the game again and talk with you all about it. And I'm excited to see everything that comes forward, even though I'm definitely going to have to be patient for at least a few more years. Is there anything special you wanted to shout out or before we go ahead and let you go?
Actually, I'm just really glad for everybody who plays the game, uploads the video, and just shows me and the people how the game currently is, how it runs. Just let's all be honest about the situation of the game, so you don't waste your money on something you will be unhappy with. But if you like it, just do as you feel best.
All right. Thank you so much, Dirk. And yep, that was Get Your Tentacles Off My Waifu. Again, links to both the game and the Patreon will be in our show notes, as well as the Discord, the description on the YouTube upload. So please, if you want to check it out, please check it out. And if you really like the game and want to support the creator, please sign up for their Patreon, and I'm sure they'll be more than happy to use your money to help the game develop a little bit quicker. Or at least be a little bit more sane when they finally finish the game, whatever comes first.
What is the sanity you speak of?
I don't know either. I think it's a soup. Anyway, Dirk, we're going to go ahead and move on to the Brony news and everything. You can stick around if you like, or we can go ahead and let you go so you can probably get some needed sleep or get on with your very, very early day over there in Germany.
Yeah, it's already 4 a.m. here. I think I will actually go to bed.
All right. Let's let you go so you can get some sleep. Thank you so much for staying up so late to give us this interview. This really does mean a lot to us, and
Thank you very much.
And I really hope we at least get the word out about your game to even a few more people, because I really want to see this game come to its full development and actually get a Steam release and everything. Of course, I would even love plushies of the game and having a physical release, but I'm a crazy dreamer. But I still would love to see this game get completely released.
Well, let's say the game already has Atakimakuras you can collect in game.
Ah, there you go. Nice, I love it. All right, we'll let you go then. Thank you again so much, Dirk, and I hope you have a very good night or morning or both.
Yeah, thank you very much to all of you. Thank you, everybody asked questions and is curious about the game. Very glad to be here. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, everybody, and yep,
So,
and let's see. Okay, and
then,
oh, yep.
Yeah, then goodbye and good night, I would say.
Okay. I got. Go ahead and get out of here, man. Get some sleep.
Okay.
All right. Thank you again.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
All right, and again, that was Dirk from Get Your Tentacles Off My Waifu, the full developer and everything. And wonderful guy. I love it. He so wonderful and so nice.
It is just fun to have a dev in chat.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I really hope that the game continues to be produced, and I really want to get into it. I feel there's so much here, and I can just dig my hands into it, but it's still so early that right now just shooting up tentacle monsters with a waifu, it is good. It's good stuff.